What's that, Runehammer Clan? Hawk Runehammer here, back for the next installment of our Let's Build series. And as you can see, I've got these beautiful shaders on. And these are Silder's shaders I'm using for 1.9, and they work fantastically, especially with the Conquest texture pack. Great. Great, great, great. Today we're going to be talking about roads and paths and detailing. Those things in this video, and how to go about making some nice looking roads, adding some side paths and things like you can see here, and as you can see around these areas here, some nice side details to your builds. And let's go ahead and take a look at some changes I made over here to the Fisherman's Hut since the last video. Now, in the first video, I had this portion exactly like that end piece over there on the roof. Since this was a smaller roof and a smaller house, I made it smaller. It's more stubby looking, just a little bit to fit the roof better. I also added some, of course, this path, and I added this fence post around. Just random bits of fence are a nice touch sometimes. I changed the supports for the fishing dock, or fishing pier, I should say, to better match the rest of the design, and sort of make it look more interesting instead of just having those. I had some spruce wood stairs that were dark. I made them dark so that it would kind of match the oak logs, but just didn't quite look right to me, so I changed that stuff up. Added some fence down here to the supports, added these beams, just all kinds of little finishing touches, guys. Added this nice little lamp. It's up here on the fence. I brought this out a little bit, so there's like a nice little walkway out here on the side. But yeah, and then this comes out from the top over here, and it hangs down from basically what looks like a chain, but in 1.9, since they've changed how glass and how iron bars work, it's just a single rod instead of it being the way it used to be, where it was sort of this four-sided thing. So it sort of dangles down very nicely from that, so it looks like a lantern. I thought it came out fantastically. And then over here you see where I added this path, and of course this gravel here, another nice little lamp, and all the way around it's just, random bits of gravel around the house. And then over here is a touch that I wanted to talk to you guys about. In this texture pack, and I'll show you how to apply it, but in this texture pack, this is what coarse dirt looks like. This brown stuff right here. And it's a connected texture. So you can see, like, if you place coarse dirt next to each other, it kind of makes different patterns. And I thought it made kind of a nice, muddy looking pattern to go along with the grass. And it's basically sort of where it's patchy, where it's right up underneath the house, where, the grass isn't quite getting enough sunlight maybe. And so, and it's also probably a little bit damp. So I created this look like there was just some, not a lot of grass growing underneath, and some patchy areas around the post where there's dirt and stuff all the way down. I thought it added a nice little extra dimension to the house. Man, look at these shaders. I mean, just look at that. Let's just even have that little lens flare. Looking fantastic. That's all the extra little details that I've added to the houses. We're going to be doing, I'm waiting until we get further into the video to add more stuff to it, so that I can sort of show you guys as I go along, because it is a Let's Build. Let's talk about roads for a second. Now, roads, they can be extremely simple or extremely complicated, depending on what you're going for. If you're going for more of a more natural, realistic thing, then I'm going to talk to you more about that. Now, I do with my roads. I want to go ahead and F1 out really quick. This is what I like to do with my roads. I like to pick cobble as my base layer, So I pick a base layer. I pick one or two supporting layers that are going to be my secondary layers, and then I pick another layer of detail. So at least one other brick. So four, sometimes even up to five, depending on the size and the length of the road and how much detail I want to put in. Sometimes up to five different materials going into one road. Now, it might not work the same in every texture pack. It might not look exactly right, so you may be only limited to three things. I find in default, the thing that I like to do is add cobble and throw in a little bit of gravel because it's another gray texture, but it's a little bit it's different from the cobble, so it breaks up the monotony. And adding the gravel kind of makes it feel like things are eroded. Like it used to be bigger rocks, and now it's smaller rocks. So, and also the mossy stone. You gotta add some mossy stone to your roads if you want to make them look a little bit more worn, like they not necessarily dilapidated, but like they've just worn down and kind of grown over, especially in like a rustic or medieval style. So that's my sort of tip for you, and I'm gonna show you exactly the way I go about this in just a moment whenever we start actually building on this road here, because as you can see, I went ahead and made a bunch of the road, and then I left this gap here to work on in the video with you guys. So that's what we're going to be doing in this Let's Build today. But yeah, I wanted to show you my progress first and give you a little bit of updates, let you see everything in the shaders, but I think right now we're going to go on and get started with the Let's Build. So let's go. Alright, let's not waste any time. We're going to jump right into things. So first we're going to start by clearing out this area here. We're going to start clearing the grass where our cobble's going to go, and I'm going to talk you guys through it as we go along. So let's go ahead and lay down just some cobble here, and we'll worry about the shape in a minute. Right now we're just trying to get the general direction of it going, and then we'll shape the road, and then we'll detail the road. See, we'll do this little section here. Oh, I can't fly. Oh, there we go. All right, see, doesn't quite look right. So what I find to do when I'm working on like the shape of my road, I'll come out and okay, I want to add a little bit more width, especially doing like something diagonal. I'll come out. All right, this needs to be a little bit wider here. I'll see where things might look good, and go. Oh, I need a brick there. I need a block there, etc., etc. Until I find something that looks nice to me. If it doesn't, if I feel like something needs to change, I'll go in and replace that, and that's that. It's not too difficult. Whoops, wrong thing. I did want to talk to you guys about using stairs. Now, the thing about stony stairs is you can use them if you really want to create potholes. If you're using cobble, boom. Walking along, there's a pothole. Doesn't always necessarily look the best, depending on, again, the size of the road and what you're going for. So if it's not, like this isn't a very wide road, probably wouldn't put, at least not very many, I probably wouldn't put very many, you know, potholes or anything in it. So, that being said, let's continue on. I can't speak. Can't speak today. We're going to go ahead down here, and I like to make things very gradual, very natural, along with the slope of terrain that we have to work with. And you don't have to do it this way. You can do it adding detail as you go instead of doing it in steps. I like to go ahead and get the road down first. It gives me a good idea of what everything is going to look like beforehand, and then I can go in and add all my little details and see how that looks after the fact. And we're going to go ahead here, and I'm going to speed this process up just a little bit because I think you've got the idea. right, guys. So here's the thing. Now that we've got sort of an established road shape, we can go in and we can. I'm going to talk you through my sort of thing. We've got our main layer down, right? And the reason I do it in stages like this is so that I can have I don't have one material overtaking the next. So I'll take my second layer and I'll just start placing it in like this, and just sort of randomly. And I make sure that I space things out. Maybe I put a couple beside each other. That way, everything is kind of nice. And this, sometimes I'll add like 3 in one place, because not everything's going to be exactly spaced out perfectly. Add one there. Throw in some over here, like this. Whoopsie. And like I said, just space them out, and that's sort of kind of the thing that you're looking for. And like I said, sometimes I throw in a few and several in one place, and then that's our gravel. Already, you can see that the monotony has been broken up in our road already. Now let's go in and add our other secondary block, and that's the mossy stone. So I love using mossy stone in any texture I've ever seen. Mossy stone is almost always a good idea for cobblestone roads. Even if you just did just cobble and mossy, throw in a few mossy stones, and you've already added another layer of detail. And again, I'll do the same thing. I'm going to put a stone right there. My secondary, or not my secondary, but my third layer of detail. Yeah, third layer of detail. So, and again, it can be sporadic. Right here, I'm adding this because it gets a little more shade in shaders, so it kind of makes it look more realistic to me. Gonna throw in here. I like to throw them in sometimes in the middle, but a lot on the edges of the road, and then a few in the middle. That way, it's kind of like, there we go. Now we're gonna take our third layer of detail, and we're gonna use less of this one. We're just gonna put one every so often, just to break things up even more. And we're rarely ever going to put these very close to one another. Very rarely. Again, because this is just another layer of detail to add. See, we hit one over here, and then there's one close by there. So we don't want to overload it with these, because again, this isn't our primary, so not our secondary. There's already detailing in these. So I think what we're going to do actually for this, though, add one right there. There we go. And then we're going to place one here. And one right. Oops. One right there. And there we go. That's our road. In a very short amount of time, we've gone from having no road here to a nice detailed road. And that's it for the roads. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a shovel. And go ahead and grab my nice little bling bling diamond shovel. And we're going to go ahead and throw some path up, making this nice and random. Because it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a path. It's a dirt path. It's basically just stuff that's been worn down. And there, boom. That's it. Very short path. Looks kind of nice. You can add more path around it if you want to. But for now, at least, I'm going to leave it as that. Now, if you are having trouble getting a nice shape to it, like say while I was just randomly clicking away, I came out here and I just added more than I wanted to. That looks kind of like, I don't know, a duck to me. And so, or a chicken. It kind of looks like a chicken. So, I don't really like that. So, it's an easy fix, though. Easy fix. Go back, add some grass uh, to the path until you think that it looks nice. And if you want to change it up again, just go in, change the path again. It's that simple. The same thing I did over here, except just this was just a larger scale than that over there. Now, the other thing that I like to do with that, I like to grab some grass, if there's not some already growing around it. If there's a patch right here, I like to throw some grass on top of it, just like that. And then maybe some here, some right here. That way there's some right alongside the path to add, like while you're walking down the path, you're like, oh look, there's this grass growing up in the middle of the path. It kind of adds, again, just another layer of detail. All right, so we've got roads, we've got paths, but this video is not over yet. We're going to talk about detailing. So I'm going to grab this cauldron, going to grab this chest, so an anvil, we're going to grab water buckets. I'm going to leave the gravel, and I'm going to grab some hay bales. We'll do some glowstone, iron bars. We'll worry about the hay bales later. Let's worry about some fencing first. Now, one nice thing to do is if you have a path, maybe have some fencing that's leading up to it. Again, you don't have to connect every single fence. It can be sort of random-ish if you want it to be. You can connect every single one, but I find that sometimes it makes for kind of a nice effect if you don't. Now, you may not like that. You may think it's hideous, but I like the way that ends up looking, to me. But you can do whatever you like in your builds. I think that this adds a nice little walkway, a nice frame for it. And it also makes it so you don't have to necessarily go around. You can just go through the fence if you want to. That's one layer of detail. I can add some more fence around it if I want to. I don't know why I'm having such trouble jumping today. I really don't. I don't know if it's something getting stuck. Shouldn't be though. We're gonna go ahead and throw some crafting tables out here on the side. Just throw a few down like that. Maybe a chest here and there. And then we're gonna put a couple of these cauldrons right here on the side and throw some water in them, because they would have places for gathering rainwater. And look at that. Look at the corner of that building. It looks a lot nicer. Now, the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the side, and we are going to place this down here. And I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have that there. The iron bars and my light source. And there we have a nice little hanging lantern. I want to do that sort of for all of that's sort of going to be an ongoing thing for all of the houses in my village. Just to have, so that there's little lights so that when it's dark, you can just see that there's stuff going on. All right, so we're going to throw in some more, whoopsie. This thing about crafting tables, if you click on them, you will have stuff pop up. And you don't have to plaster that stuff everywhere. It doesn't have to be on every single side of the house. I like to change things up. Rainwater coming off here, throw in some cauldrons instead of some boxes, and then throw that rainwater in there. Boom. A nice, oh my gosh, I can't fly today. There we go there, and then we're going to do a little bit in the back as well. But this time we're going to make it set up sort of like a work area. Like there might be repairing some tools. So another thing that we're going to do is add some gravel around, especially this area specifically. Like I did that there. I managed to replace that block before the anvil fell. One thing when you're dealing with cobblestone wall is if you can do that right there and bring it out some more. Um, and we're just going to add this gravel all around here, just like we did with some of the other stuff. Like so. Oopsie. And there we go. Throw that there. And that kind of adds another nice little touch. Let's throw some fences up. Let's throw some fences. Okay, throw them out here. Nice, all the way around. Start here. Very random. And then we'll leave this portion maybe open. We'll even, you know what? We will even do. Oh, come on. There we go. Being very fidgety today for some reason. And I don't know why. We'll add this entryway here. Not that it's exactly necessary, but it just adds something extra to the build. And then what we're going to do, what we're going to do right here is come in like this. We're going to leave that sort of untamed and leave that level of detail. And then what we're going to do right here is we're going to add another light on the fence. Boom. Right here. And there. And you're done. I think that's a little too low for this. So we're going to raise it up by one more. And that's the thing about it, guys. Just do what looks nice to you. If something doesn't quite look right, if it looks a little off, just go back and change it. That's the only way you're going to get better with building, is experiment. You got to experiment. You got to reach out and just sort of go with your gut on things. If it doesn't look right to you, chances are it doesn't look right. Like that, didn't really like it. Immediately changed it. We're gonna put it right there. We're gonna put it right there. There, that's nice and tidy. And then we'll throw in this chest right here, and we'll throw some grass down on these spots. See, I'm not loving that. If you don't love it, don't keep it. Where'd it go? Where did he go, George? All right. And we'll throw in chests right there. There we go. A nice little work nook for them to work and to smith. I think I'm also going to add a little bit more gravel to this area since it's a work area. And I'll even throw it down right here. And again, this is just very basic detailing. You don't have to go exactly hog wild with everything. And then we'll throw in a path. We'll throw in a path. We'll do it right here. That just sort of meets up with the road already established. Sort of wide, and then I don't really like that there and that there. So what I'm going to do is change it up to, let's see. You know what? That, there, and there. I know that seems very, very picky, and I'm going to be picky again because I don't quite like that either. That's not bad. All right, throw some grass here, there, here, and here, and here. And throw some more grass out, why not? I sort of did some clearing with the water bucket at some point so that the grass wouldn't be there so I could build stuff. Oh, I can't fly. Ugh. I'm the hawk who couldn't fly. Oh, there we go. There we go. And look, just in a very short amount of time, we've already brought this house to life even more. Now, one other thing that I like to add, I grabbed these for a reason, hay bales. Look how big they are in 1.9 now. Grabs hay bales for a reason. So you can just add these pretty much anywhere. You can just sort of stack them wherever. You can do whatever with them. If you don't like that, you can throw that off there. I don't like that. So again, personal preference. You can add a little bit of stacks of hay to the side. You can throw them out in the front. It doesn't really matter. It is your build, guys. And like I said, if it doesn't feel right to you, chances are it probably isn't. I'm just going to throw a few in the front. All right, and that is going to pretty much wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Leave me a like if you like this video, and share it with your friends. It helps me out a lot. The likes help me out a lot. It's helping me grow my channel and get more people to come to it and see the content that you guys enjoy. And you know, I want to share it with more people. So if you really support me, then definitely share it with your friends, because that helps me out so much. And the other thing is, ever since I did that cyberbullying video, I've been thinking about a different outro. I always do my little awkward hammer signing out thing, but I'm going to add a little bit extra that I think is important, and it really is the central focus of the channel, and that is to stay creative and stay positive, guys, because without those two things, things can sometimes get overwhelming. They can sort of, you can lose sort of your sense of purpose. And us as Minecrafters, or even if you're not that big into Minecraft and you're seeing this video, if you have some sort of outlet, some sort of creative outlet that you enjoy, stay at it. Work at your passions. If you're passionate about something, go for it. Because ultimately, no matter if you get recognition for it or not, it doesn't matter. If you're enjoying it and it's giving you an outlet, it doesn't matter if no one in the world sees your Minecraft creations or your drawings or anything. If you enjoy doing it, then do it. Because ultimately, it's not about what other people think about it. It's about you and expressing yourself. Now, for me, part of that for me was martial arts growing up. That's a huge expression of self. And this is the same thing. Minecraft is to people that play it as martial arts is to the martial artist. It is a means of self-expression. And I find it to be an art form. So I know a lot of you guys feel the same way. So at the end of every video, guys, I'm going to be signing out as normal. But I'm also going to be adding, stay creative, and stay positive. So without further ado, here we go. This is Hawk Runehammer signing out. Stay creative, stay positive, guys.